ingredients prepared already, weighed out and measured. So now I'm going to go through all of my ingredients with you all so you know exactly what to use. Now this is my kind of twist on a Christmas cake recipe. I've been through all my favourites, so I've been through Jamie Oliver, Delia Smith, an old classic in my mum's books, Mary Berry, all the classics, Nigella Lawson even, and I've picked my favourite bits from each of those recipes, and I've kind of added a little bit of my own stuff as well. So I like to think of this as Fran's classic Christmas cake. It's kind of my take on a Christmas cake. Oh, it rhymes. Anyway, ingredients. Let's start from scratch. We've got 4 eggs, 4 large eggs. I've got organic eggs, but you can choose whatever eggs you want to get, as long as they're not from caged hens, because that's not good. I've got the juice and the zest of 1 lemon, which I've grated in here, and I've put the juice in there. I've got the juice and the zest again of 1 orange, which is in there. 250 grams of unsalted butter. I've got 100 grams of bleached almonds. Now the almonds I chop down to make them quite fine and quite ground. I don't like them too small because I like to be able to taste them properly in the cake, but that's my almonds. I've also got dried apricots. Now I used about 12 dried apricots and chopped them into little chunks because I like a bit of a mixture in my fruit that goes in the cake. I have my flour. Now I've used plain flour, and it's 175 grams of plain flour. Then I've gone on to my sugar, which is soft brown sugar. I've got 200 grams of soft brown sugar. I use soft brown because I feel it works better in a Christmas cake. It just brings the texture out. It just adds to the flavour. It's great. It's my favourite. I've also got baking powder, ground cinnamon, vanilla paste, mixed spice, brandy, obviously, and my mixed fruit. Now I've got 1 kilo of currants, sultanas, peel and cranberries in here, and I've had them soaking for a couple of days now in the brandy. So 1 kilo of mixed fruit soaking in 150 ml of brandy. Every night I just kind of scoot the brandy over the top and just give them a quick mix up, and then I cover it again in cling film. It just helps the fruit kind of ferment a little bit more so it gets the flavour into the cake. It's just a better way, I think, personally. So then I have greased and lined my baking tin. It's a 20 centimetre diameter baking tin, greased and lined. I cut out the bottom. This is one of those great tins that you flip the thing off and you can pull the lid off, which I find better for baking because it stops stuff getting stuck around the sides, and it's just all round brilliant. So that's that. So now, after washing my hands, we're ready to go. Into my pan, which is on a medium heat on my hob, I'm going to put all my dried mixed fruits in, the brandy, I'm just going to double check. I'm going to put the dried fruits, the zest, the juice, the brandy, all the apricots, the sugar, all into this bowl. My orange zest and the juice. My butter. Now I've cut this into chunks now so it's easier to put in. Butter. And it's easier to melt. And my sugar. Now I'm not going to add my sugar quite yet because I want it to melt a little bit more before I add all my sugar in. I'm just going to mix all of that together in the pan, and you leave it simmering now and cooking just until it melts. The butter should melt in around, I'd say 10 minutes, but just keep it on a low heat. I'm also going to add my sugar in now. Now I've stirred it up a bit. In goes my 200 grams of soft brown sugar into the mixture. And just stir it all together. And my butter is kind of pretty much melted now. We've still got a few bits left in there, but it's pretty much melted. And we're going to leave this, oh, the brandy, it smells amazing. We're gonna leave this on the hob now just to simmer on a lower heat. So I'm going to probably turn it down to about maybe 2 or 3 on the hob to just simmer and just let the flavours all combine, let the butter melt properly, let the sugar combine with the brandy, and let all the fruit blend in together with the juices. Oh, I wish you had smell-o-vision. It smells so good. It smells like Christmas. So while I'm waiting for this to simmer, which is 5 minutes on a low heat, I'm just going to beat my eggs. I've got 4 large organic eggs here, which I'm just going to beat together into my bowl. but don't beat them too much. Too many people overbeat them. Eggs don't need beating that much when they go into a mixture, because obviously you're going to stir them in as well, and it helps bind the ingredients together. So lightly beat 4 eggs. That's my 4 eggs lightly beaten. I'm now just going to give my ingredients that are simmering in the pan a quick stir, just so they don't get too stuck in their ways. Oh, it looks lovely. Can you see up there? Looks beautiful. I'm now going to get my ingredients, which have been on here simmering on a low heat for the last 5 minutes, and I'm going to tip them. I'm going to make sure I turn my hob off. And I'm going to tip them into my big mixing bowl, so I'm going to leave them to cool for about 30 minutes before I add the rest of the mixture. So let's tip it all in here. Make sure you have a big mixing bowl as well. Too many times I've come unstuck by having a mixing bowl that's too small for the ingredients I have. So now I have my giant size mixing bowl, so it's fine. Now while this is cooling, I'm going to turn my oven on so it's ready for when I just add all the mixture together and I can put it straight in. What you cook it on is 150 degrees centigrade or 130 degrees centigrade if you've got a fan in your oven, or gas mark 2, so it's quite a low heat for a longer period of time. Because of all the fruit in the cake, it just takes a little bit longer. I'm going to cook it for 2 hours on this heat, and my oven, I don't personally like using a fan. I have a fan, but I don't like using it. I prefer just to have normal oven heat. So I'm going to do it for 2 hours on 130 degrees in my cake tin. Here we go. Put it on. Now while my oven is heating up nicely and all my fruit and the mixture in here is cooling, I'm probably going to go next door and put my feet up and watch an episode of Sherlock with my favourite, Mr. Benedict Cumberbatch, and my ultimate favourite, Mr. Martin Freeman. So I will see you back here in about 30 minutes. Bye guys! Now after 30 minutes I'm back. I've come back to my mixture. I hope you've had a lovely break, and I hope when you're making your cake you do something productive in the 30 minutes. I did also do my washing up, so that's kind of productive. Now my mixture is totally cooled. I'm now going to add the rest of my ingredients, which includes my almonds, my 4 lightly beaten eggs. I'm going to just gently add those into the middle. Make sure you spoon all of that mixture out of the bowl as well. I'm gently going to fold those ingredients in together with my spatula. Oh, that's lovely. Again, just gently fold your recipe together so you can see from above, you can see up there, I'm not mixing it too hard. I'm just gently folding the mixture in. And then last but not least, we're going to add our flour. Now I've sieved this flour already, so make sure you have sieved flour. I'm going to add gently gently going to add it to my mixture. There we go. And now gently fold your flour into the rest of the mixture. You need to be careful and you need to make sure it's fully mixed because we don't want any flour pockets. I want to see that mixture totally mixed. Okay, so when you think your mixture is totally done and ready, we're going to tip it straight into our baking tin, which is here, ready to go. And then just with the spatula, if you just make sure you spread it all around to all the corners, so it's very even. Now we're going to put the cake in the oven. I'm going to put this in here with my lovely Christmas baking glove in the centre of your oven, just so the heat goes around it. Make sure it's at the timer on 130. Perfect, and that's it. Now I have to wait for 2 hours. So I'm going to do some more washing up, probably go and watch a little bit more of Sherlock. Maybe do the washing, I don't know, write some Christmas cards, go and do normal Christmassy stuff. So we'll see you again back here in 2 hours. Bye guys! Now my Christmas cake is finally done. It's been in the oven for 2 hours and 10 minutes precisely. I left it in for an extra 10 minutes just to give it a little bit more because it didn't look quite cooked when I checked it at 2 hours. So I'm just going to pull it out the oven, stick a knife in the middle of it to see if it's cooked. Just see if the knife is left with smears on it, that means your cake isn't cooked properly. But if it's left totally clean and perfect, that means your cake is cooked properly, and we just need to leave it to cool. So I'm just going to get it out now. The moment of truth, it's so exciting. Oh my god, it smells amazing. Oh, it smells like Christmas cake, surprisingly. God, lovely. Okay. So the moment of truth, the knife test. It's clean! Perfect! So my Christmas cake is officially cooked! Yay! I'm going to show it to you guys so you can see what it looks like, even though I've made a hole in it with the knife. It's okay because you're going to ice it, so we're going to cover that. This is my Christmas cake! Woohoo! I'm so happy! So now all we need to do is I'm going to leave my Christmas cake to chill out and just to cool down for a little bit. I'm then going to, after probably about 15 minutes to half an hour, put some little holes in the top of my Christmas cake. 2 tablespoons of brandy, put those over the top of the cake just because it's still slightly warm, so they'll just seep into the cake nicely. Then I'm going to leave it to totally cool down. And then once it's absolutely 100% totally cooled, if you wrap it in cling film to keep it nice and protected and keep all that moisture in there, then it'll be ready to ice on Christmas Eve, which is going to be in 7 days time. So then I can show you the icing recipe and show you how my cake turns out. Good luck everyone making your Christmas cake. I hope it goes well. Happy Christmas!